What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Off the Record. You got me, Alex. You see Mike in the corner. You got Brandon. And no, that is not a one Quan battle. This is our good friend Dawud Wallace, who is joining us today to talk about the newly released Kanye documentary. And our good friend Dawud is a Kanye disciple. Am I describing you right?
I'm pretty much a Yeezy stan, no doubt. I've seen him in concert 2 times. Probably the greatest concert I've ever been to. Life altering event. Yeah, I'm probably
Life
a Yeezy stan. Yeah.
life altering.
Yes, it was life altering. As far as the performance goes, I saw Michael Jackson when I was 4 years old, sat on my daddy's shoulders at the Victory Tour. Shit was crazy, and Yeezy's right next to that.
So you're comparing Kanye West
Yes,
to Michael Jackson.
from a performance standpoint, yes. I'm sorry, has it started yet? The
It
damn
started.
the stage was suspended in air 100 feet up. This was the Pablo tour. It was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. I've been to 1,000 rap shows, all of them. 80 cats on the mic. Yo, 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 yo. You can't hear none of them. This was insane, man. This was incredible.
Has
Hold on.
Kanye ever stood still for 28 minutes and made fans in Lithuania pass out? Because I don't know if anyone has ever done that other than Mike.
Hey, no, that was Brussels. Okay, that was Brussels.
Hey, man, you hit us up. You wanted to talk about Kanye. He's always in the news. He's always doing something ridiculous. But the documentary focuses on the first part of his musical career, right?
Mhm,
Roc-a-fella.
mhm. Yes, sir. I,
Uh, Go ahead. Go ahead.
no, yeah, 100%. First of all, thank you so much, fellas. I love you guys. Talk to you guys every day. Thank you for letting me come on and talk about this doc. I actually saw the doc last Thursday with my little brother, and they did a 1 day release in studios before the national. Mr. Battle, peace, God, peace. How you living, baby?
Yo, peace, gang. Peace, fellas. What's the
So,
word?
Yo.
I was saying, so I actually saw the doc Thursday in theaters, and I saw my little brother. They did a 1 day release of it before the national release on the 16th, and it was just so awe-inspiring. And yes, we know Yeezy's got a whole lot of other stuff going on now with Kim and all that stuff.
I mean, he's
But
threatening Pete Davidson, isn't he? I mean,
he's got to stop that. But
would you
th-
say he's more known at this point for his theory, his theatrics and foolishness than he is his music?
yeah, shit. Well, I mean, it's hard to argue that. It's hard to really argue that. For us, who grew up with him, no. But like you said, this guy he's like he's Michael Jackson popular.
I
Um,
don't know about that, but I'll let the other host of the show.
yes. What'd you guys think about it?
I liked it. I'm a music fan. I recognize, Kanye's talent as a musician. He can rap. He can make beats. You know what I'm saying? I recognize his genius there. But I'm not like I wouldn't call what you would call a Kanye stan. But I mean, part one was cool. I think I don't know if it really revealed anything that we kind of didn't already know, but you got to see it because his boy filmed it. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Um, I was telling the fellas earlier, like, yo, it was a little emotional there when he was rapping with his moms. Now that shit was the connection he had with his mom. I think that's the part that I kind of like felt the most. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Yeah.
Um, a lot of people say it's inspirational, and it can be, all the stuff that he went through. But I don't know. Like I said, I don't think it revealed anything we didn't know. You just got to see it.
Mm. That, true. True. What do you think, Battle?
Man, the first episode was all right. Titled I Lied the Vision. So,
Mm.
you know, countering what Peachy said. We got a chance to actually see like what was transpired. Like especially when you go off of listening to the college dropout when it first came out, and how he
particularly talked about certain things that he was going through when he was making the album, and how he was going through particular adversity with the Roc, and how certain I don't know, music companies didn't want to, sign him, and
Sure.
his come up, and what he had to go through, with people kind of throwing him in the broad patch and kind of just dismissing and passing him. You got a chance to see how, you got a chance to see how everything worked. You got a chance to see, his come up. That was good. I think you get a chance to see a vision, and you get a chance to see it from a perspective of something that he wanted to do, and he wanted to. He was grabbing towards something. He wanted to be a star, and so you got a chance to see it from that angle. I like when he went back to Chicago, actually, and he was going around, seeing different folks around the city. But actually, what Brandon said, when he got a chance to see his mother, it was like he came back to Chicago, particularly like it was like the Oracle. You know what I mean? Like he came back to see his mother. He came back to get rejuvenated and to go back out and go back out in this world and try to do what he wanted to do and become. So, it was good. It was, a good first episode.
Yeah, I liked it. I'm a so Yeezy fan. I'm not. I'll say I'm more of a old Kanye fan than I am the new Kanye. But I disagree with you, Brandon. I think we did get to see some things that we didn't know. From his early days in Chicago, how he got his name, which was different to me, because was it just me, or did you notice kind of like a different talk from Kanye? Like his voice sounded different. He sounded more of
he had a retainer in his mouth.
That damn retainer, right?
Well, I'm saying, but even, he had the retainer, but still, like, not even from the retainer. Like, it just sounded like he was kind of, I don't know if it was forced or if it was just the crowd he was around, but he sounded more, I guess if you want to say, street in his talk. You know what I mean? Which I thought was interesting. And to see that, he had a name in Chicago probably before we thought that he, originally got his name in Chicago. So I thought that was cool. Even going to New York, when he started to get a name for himself, and when he's sitting in the car with Talib, and he was playing like he was playing like a beat for me. I think I should have written it down. I forgot what beat it was, but I think it was a joint that Hove eventually got on. And Talib was like, "Yo, can I get that?" And he was like, "Yeah." So it was just, but it was just funny to to hear him say that, and then we know that Hove eventually got onto that beat. So I thought it was dope. It showed a different side, you know what I mean, and that it showed the beginning stages, the grind, and how he got to where he was. So I liked it.
Yeah, it was. I was, like I said, I saw my little brother who is what 8-9 years younger than me, and so he's talking to me. He's like, "Yo, like, why was they fronting on him? Why?" And I'm like, "Bro, in 2000, like, you got to understand where rap was. You got to understand where Roc-a-fella was. You're talking about the pinnacle label in all of rap music. They, when he went to go play All Falls Down for the A&Rs, and they looking at him like he got 4 heads. Like, yo,
I like that part actually. When we added, I'm sorry, go ahead, Alex.
There's a backstory to that, man. That was all staged. If y'all didn't know, one of the ARs came out and said that clip that you see floating around of Kanye playing All Falls Down in the office. He was like, Kanye did that 10 times with the camera crew. And back then, people weren't accustomed to having camera crews in there. So even back then, he was staging all of that.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I did not know that.
The
way they was looking at him,
look at Alex adding the spin.
Well, when you say stage, like.
So they were still not feeling him though, right?
No, they according to this A&R named Wayno, he said that everybody liked him. They liked the music, but like I guess the annoyance that you see in the clip is more about it being like the 10th time he's tried to play the song and have the cameras there.
Okay.
Well, then that adds a different spin to it. But nevertheless, like, You know, my little brother, he's like, yo, like, why is he's going around to these labels? Why didn't they sign him? I'm like, yo, it's this 2002, 3. Like, rap was different.
I think that's a poor excuse. We had cats like Most, we had Common, we had Raucous.
Why didn't Raucous sign him then? He went there. Remember, he auditioned for Raucous, and he was just as good as any. I have every sound bombing.
You would say that he was as good as Most or Pharaoh or any of those cats back then?
Yeah, not as what most.
No, not honestly, rapping. No,
not rapping.
Yeah, most no. But shit, yeah, he's as good as Pharaoh Monch. But the whole package was better. Even if you sign him just to, like you said, to get beats, screw his lyrics.
Well, I don't know about it being state because, like, yo, they didn't sign him, yo. They was stringing him along, yo.
Wait, you know, also they were stringing him along. And then Damon, I don't want to sound like this because I think what Damon Dash is doing now, I think he's doing really good things. But you can kind of see that Damon Dash kind of wanted to kind of keep him next to him
in the loop, right?
In the loop, like not in the sense of kind of like push him out and be like, go ahead and get your own career and go ahead and but let's keep you here, you know what I mean? Because you got the beats. You know what I'm saying?
Like, right. Yo, remember what he said? Like, at the bare minimum, yo, he can just give Cam beats. Like, it's like, it was.
Yeah. I think that Dame knew exactly what he was doing, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Dame didn't want to. Everybody knew Kanye wanted to get his music out there, right? Mm-hmm. He was at that point. He was already a name as far as a producer. He wanted to move on to his music. Wanted his music heard. Dame knew that, but I don't think Dame was feeling. I personally, just watching this, I don't think Dame was feeling the musical side of it yet.
None. I know. Go ahead.
But he knew he was a talent as a producer, so he told, yeah, I'm gonna sign you, right? Just to keep, giving him that wolf ticket. But listen, for you to continue to hang around here, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Right.
And others started to recognize that, right? Like the people A&Rs at Raucous, they wanted Capital. They wanted, which I thought was interesting because, and I have it pulled up here if I can find it. I thought this was interesting. To me, I saw this, and that's 3H at Capital, who said he wanted to sign him 8 years before this.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But what I thought was interesting in this picture is that, it took a white man, no offense, but it took a white man to actually see, like, this dude gonna be something. This dude could be a star. You know what I mean? And I mean, to that, also the people at Raucous wanted to sign him as well. It was just the higher ups that wouldn't let it go through.
They couldn't see it. And it's so funny because Raucous would have actually been too good a fit, if that makes sense. It worked out. It worked out great that he signed to the Roc. Because like he said, he is that bridge between the backpack to the whole Roc-a-fella Pinnacle fly street shit. And it was the perfect bridge, and he's just the perfect artist, and we love him. Go on, Peachy. What was you going to say?
I wasn't going to say any of that. No, I was just going to say, they weren't on that vibe, and that's all it was. They weren't on that vibe. That's not what was selling. What was selling, when he went to Clue, what did Clue want? Clue wanted
that street shit. Yeah, like
that street shit. When he brought Scarface into the studio, and even you could tell, Scarface liked his other beat better. The
Family Business.
Family Business. He liked that better. So it wasn't like on some straight street shit, but even he wasn't riding that wave yet with the beats. He recognized the talent, but it was like, that wasn't his vibe, his type of beat to rap on. And I'm actually kind of surprised because I feel like Scarface can rhyme on anything, but you could kind of see like he was like, I don't know what to kind of like write to this shit. Yeah. Let me hear that other shit.
It wasn't even.
I like the fact how Scarface like he took that he took that. He didn't get salty about it, or he didn't like swallow a gumdrop, or he took it and was like, for what it was, I was able to get some type of not recognition, but I was able to get
He
some
got
type of,
validation.
Yeah, but
Like
he wanted
validation. Yeah.
you know what I
he
mean,
wanted-
from Face, and that took him to a whole nother level. You know what I mean? Like, if
But-
you can get the
but
he
validation,
wanted to be on Face's album. He said, "Which one of these you want me to put on your album?" And Face walked out.
no,
the door.
no.
That was the
Actually,
next step.
It was Jesus Walks, right?
He wanted Face to be on the hook of Jesus Walks.
Right,
And
but
that's
but
why
was
he
like,
only. That's why
Good.
he only came to that session with two beats, and that was Jesus Walks, and the other joint he played Family Business.
Family Business, right?
And if you notice, to me, I even got in my notes that I wanted to ask y'all, like, do you think Face wasn't feeling Jesus Walks beat? Because I mean, it was that only played for like 5-10 seconds, and he was like, "Yo, go to the next one."
well, 5-10 seconds of edited film, but like
I mean,
I thought
well,
I thought
that,
it just wasn't. I don't
He
think
did-
people were ready for what Kanye. Nobody had heard that type shit before.
yeah,
I agree.
don't think
Yeah,
people
it was
ready
You know
for
what I'm
different.
saying? It was a
Jesus Walks.
completely.
It was so
different-
it's
yeah.
groundbreaking stuff.
And,
Oh, I
and
don't know if it's
I was a
groundbreaking.
little surprised about it because Scarface for a minute, he was in, he was into that spiritual stuff, you know what I'm saying? And so I was kind of surprised that he walked on that one. I thought he would have.
I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised because even when Jesus Walks came out, it was still people. Even radio stations were a little apprehensive of playing the song because because it was like, yo, is
Because
this
it was mentioning Jesus.
Yes.
Bingo,
So I think
bingo.
that's
Hey,
why.
God forbid but you can have crack and shoot people. But
Yeah,
God forbid,
niggas, fuck bitches, shoot niggas, kill, death unto all. Jesus? No, I don't know about that.
And that's why I think Face was turned off by that.
Well, he was a
Because-
little apprehensive about it.
Yeah,
right?
because he didn't
Yeah.
know. Like, it wasn't her. It was new. It was nothing that we've ever heard before. Honestly,
Jesus Walks is, I get in an argument all the time. It's literally one of the greatest songs ever. I don't give a fuck what genre you're talking about. I don't care if you're talking about this, that, rock, hip hop, classical. It is one of the greatest produced songs ever. It's just an incredible song.
I think Kanye during the Roc-a-fella years, I think he was instrumental to Rockefeller's explosion, and I think that Jesus Walk is still a great song. I think what it sounds like is some of the documentaries painting him out to be like nobody liked him, like they couldn't feel him, but like he ain't the first successful artist that went on later to become successful that wasn't looked over. I mean, hell, before Eminem got the Dre, like Fat Joe tells the story, he had a chance to sign him. He had been around Redman and all them, and no one saw Eminem's greatness. DMX tells a story about how he was in Puff's office, and Puff was like, "Hey, what am I going to do with you? Like, you're too street." So, and those two artists went on to be some of the greatest artists of all time. So Kanye is not the first great artist to come along, and the first label he was with was like, I don't know.
Even
no,
his
but
mentor,
he's the
Jay-Z.
first to have that shit recorded, though. So for somebody to give up their entire life to follow this nigga around, record the shit, people saw stuff in Kanye early.
Yes.
Or he just
You know
paid
what I'm
him.
saying? And they well, he could have done that too, but I mean, he was literally following him around everywhere. I don't know if Kanye had the money. I don't know if Kanye looked like he had the money to be paying somebody to be following him around everywhere.
He was just preparing for what he does later on in life now, being on reality shows.
It's funny. It's funny, Brandon. You said that because I was talking to our good buddy Capo Jones, and when you think about the guy Coodie, right? He had a nice career. He had his own show. He was doing the comedy thing. He quit his career to follow an unknown producer around because, like you said, he saw something in him.
This is where I agree with Alex on this. When he gave up his job, Kanye wasn't unknown.
Matter, yo.
He wasn't unknown then.
In 2001, what did he have?
He wasn't unknown, but it was.
Yo, he had already.
It was
still
a chance to take.
I'm not saying that
It's a huge risk.
I'm not saying he didn't.
It was still a chance.
I'm not saying he didn't take a risk, but to say he was unknown, he had already produced Izzo for Hove.
I was going to say that time. He was on the Blueprint.
Yeah, so that wasn't. So he wasn't unknown.
Why did no one follow Just Blaze around then? Like
maybe Just didn't want that kind of. Maybe Kanye is attention hungry in a way that Just Blaze isn't. Right? I mean, I think looking at what he's become, I think you can argue that maybe there's some attention whoring going on.
Now, what I will say is Coodie he did see something in him because he wanted to follow him before that, which he was following him when they were back in Chicago, or when they had discussed it, and then he had moved to New York to get the deal. But I don't. Quan got dial up, y'all. If y'all wonder why he keep moving. But
you got them AOL free discs we used to steal out of B. Dalton.
But you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to say he was unknown. Now he did take a risk, but I mean, let's be honest. Like he was a Chitlin circuit comedian. He wasn't no like Martin Lund. He wasn't Marty Ma.
Yeah, but
he wasn't on Def Comedy Jam.
But he had a show. He was, as you saw,
champ.
He interviewed a lot of people.
Yo, he had a local show though.
And that's
he had
fine,
a Chicago
but he had an up-and-coming career that he really risked for.
He sacrificed a lot, yo. You can
like,
downplay all you want to.
I'm not
but
saying
to give up your life. I'm put Kanye wasn't paying him six figures.
All I'm saying is this:
living in that damn apartment in Newark, New Jersey.
All I'm saying is this: he wasn't unknown at the time. Did he take a risk? Of course, he took a risk.
A leap of faith. Risk.
Yeah, he took a leap of faith.
I mean, how old was dude when he took that risk? Early 20s.
They probably all like they was like 22.
I mean, look, man. When you're that age, you.
And no, don't downplay that.
Yes, you will.
Not downplay that.
If you when you were rapping, if you were rapping and you offered any of us minimum wage to sleep at A-Girl with you to record you, we would have did it.
But you had to believe. You had to believe in that person.
Listen, if you tell me I get to, if you tell me
it take a lot just to get us together. Damn, once a week.
That's now. That's not at 20. We were together every day at 20.
He gave up his life for this.
It was hard to do that when he was 20.
What life, bro?
To the club.
What
he
life?
Could have stayed in. He could have stayed in Chicago doing his comedy thing.
Dog, he was
like Mike said. He wasn't on Def Comedy Jam.
Well, shit, Bernie Mac didn't start on Def Comedy Jam. You start in small clubs.
Okay, all right, but you're making it seem like
I'm saying you blow up later.
You making it seem like he was on the rise to be.
You're minimizing it.
I'm not. You're
minimizing the leap of faith.
I think you guys minimize it by saying he took a leap of faith on an unknown person who was. That's not the case. He was
making a couple beats.
So would you have uprooted your life?
Dude,
for,
couple beats. He
made.
He made, but that's not who he uprooted his life for.
She was on a track with Jay-Z.
With Jay-Z, Kanye had just produced half of the album for the biggest rapper on the planet at that time.
That doesn't mean nothing.
That means that. Come on, dog.
Okay, come on. That don't mean nothing.
Okay. Who's the biggest?
He was paying his bills.
Who's the? That's the bar.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Paying your bills?
Okay. Let me ask y'all this. Let's wheel it back in. Let's wheel it back in. Let me ask you this.
You willing to follow another man?
Let me ask you this, right?
Let
me ask y'all this. Like Alex just said, right? Go back to us in our 20s at A-Game.
No.
Willing to take any risk.
I'm not
arguing here. That is not true.
That's the same. That is the same thing. If one of y'all, let's use D-Mac, right? If D-Mac came to one of us when he made the league and said, yo, I'll pay you rent free. You eating, you gonna be around NFL players and celebrities in our 20s. You wouldn't go.
Had him NFL contract. Kanye
right. Kanye West is
nobody guaranteed. Mike's making a good point. That's a really
nobody producer and nobody literally.
How was he a nobody producer? He just
nobody wanted him.
He just no. Nobody
Who produces Drake? Who produces Drake?
Nobody wanted him as a rapper. Everybody wanted him as a producer. That's what y'all. That's the part that y'all missing. Everybody wanted him as a producer. As the scene showed when he got to New York, he's sitting in a truck, in a Benz truck at that, with Talib.
That's the bar.
What you mean?
That's the bar.
No,
that's the bar.
The bar is that
I'm getting 1 point on this album because I'm ghost producing for people.
He's not. He wasn't ghost producing at that time. Everybody
at that time. No, you're right.
So the fact that. So the fact that the scene shows him in a truck playing beats with Most Def.
That shit could be rented. It's his rap.
I'm not talking about
why are you
the
saying
truck.
The truck then?
I'm not talking about the truck. I'm talking about who he was sitting there playing beats for. Who wanted his music.
Yeah,
You said
okay.
you sitting there saying like he was unwanted. Everybody wanted his sound at that time. They just didn't want him as a rapper.
So can I ask a question? Can I Veeman ask a question?
So that's taking a damn risk.
Can I, yeah, so
Uprooting
can I
your
say,
life
like,
for this man.
Is it taking the
How
risk
is it?
of a?
I'm not saying. I'm not
question.
saying that.
Mike, I got a question. Is it more of a risk when it comes to a producer or a rapper?
What do you mean?
A rapper.
I think
It's a-
rappers.
it's
Producer
a
make
risk
more money than
of
rappers.
Uprooting my life.
Yeah,
I'm following
but-
you, nigga.
Yeah, but
You ain't
his,
paying
but,
me
okay,
much. You
yeah,
better
but what
blow
was
up.
his? But what was his number one
But-
thing he wanted to become? He wanted to become a
A
rapper.
rapper. Yeah.
And there's no
So-
money in being a rapper.
Yeah, but what I'm
So
saying
why did
is
he
that-
want to be that?
But I
No,
don't
he
know.
wanted to be a
Right,
star.
which is
Proving
way
our
more
point.
He
money
wanted
than
to be a
rappers
star.
do.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that that's what he like. So who's going to be known more? Are you going to be known in the sense of the producing behind the scene? But when it comes to rapping, you're in
So
the forefront.
He
So-
wanted to be a celebrity. He didn't want to be an
Yes.
artist. He wanted to be a celebrity.
No,
That's what he wanted to be.
Wait.
Come on, dog. You
I don't
get
know
more
about-
points
He
being a
is
writer
the
or being a
quintessential
producer.
artist of the last 20 years. The
Are you?
quintessential
Hold on. Are you drunk? He's the influential artist of the last how many years?
quintessential last 20 years.
Last
Don't
20
say-
years.
Wow.
Not even close.
So-
It's
so-
not even.
so-
It's not even close. The closest person possibly is R. Kelly, and we don't mention his name.
Okay, so
So-
listen.
You don't
So-
think Jay is
so-
more
so-
No. Jay-Z's a rapper. Kanye's an artist. Major
Dr. Dre.
difference. Dr. Dre, a really good producer. Kanye's the greatest artist. Next.
Okay. Anyway, to
And
Rome's
look at the
point.
volume that
Shut-
look at the volume that Kanye
Hey,
does.
hey, bro, you
What
on our
volume?
show. Bring it down. Let's get some order here. Like to shout out to the homie Rome. Listen, I think y'all missing he was unsigned, even though he produced half of the blueprint, he was still unsigned. Listen, we understand that. But I
Hold on,
think
I got a
being
rebuttal to that.
But you
Yeah, me
don't
too.
like Kanye.
me,
It's-
no. I think my rebuttal to it is it's not. I get he was unsigned, but he was still being pulled from everywhere, which I feel like as a producer, that's what you want.
See, that's my point. I think as a producer, it's probably better to be unsigned so you can work with whoever you want. versus being
Exactly.
Payroll. That like
Exactly.
you want to be able to put your beats in front of any artist on any label in any genre.
And that's what he was doing.
That's better than being signed.
But he wasn't doing that because his
He
main one
was,
thing
yo.
He wanted no, he did. He
No,
wanted to be
he
with
was
The Roc.
doing non-Roc-a-fella beats.
Yeah, but he wanted his main purpose was he wanted to be with Roc-a-fella.
Right. He
That
wanted
was his main go-to.
Okay,
He
but
didn't want to
that
go
did-
anywhere else. He didn't want to go to Capitol. He didn't want to go
Yeah.
all other places that was shopping him. His main sole purpose was I want to break into Roc-a-fella.
Quan.
That's the
He
hottest.
wanted to be there as an artist. We're talking about him as a producer. He wanted to be in those places as a rap artist.
Yes.
All of these
A rap
other places as the places that you named wanted him as a producer. Everywhere wanted him as a producer. He wanted to be signed as a rapper. That's
That's
all
what
it
Yeah,
that's
that's what I'm
on-
saying.
Yeah, but what me and Alex are saying is that he was still producing for other people at that time. He
Mhm.
wanted to be an artist under Roc-a-fella.
Yeah.
He wanted to be an artist under Rawkus. He was willing to do that.
Yeah.
But neither one of the higher ups wanted him as an artist at that
As a-
time.
Yeah, you're right.
So-
as an artist, as a rapper, they wanted him particularly to produce beats.
Right.
You're right.
So
But the
as a
Roc-a-fella, go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
so would you and my question for all of y'all, piggybacking off of what Alex said, would it be better as a producer to be unsigned or to be signed? I feel like it would
Probably
be
unsigned. You can spread your seed. more.
Exactly.
That's the point.
that's
you
the
can,
point.
As a
That's the
producer,
po-
there's more money in
Yeah.
it that way.
That's the point that we're making. Now, as an artist, of course you want to be especially at that time going indie was unheard of.
Mhm.
But as a producer, you want to be unsigned. So you can spread your music to everybody, and he was doing that. The whole episode
What
to
other
me.
beats did he write? Whatever music he produced.
So he
For-
signed to Roc-a-fella in 2002. That's when he officially signed to Roc-a-fella.
Mhm.
Prior to that, he did The Truth with Beanie Siegel. He did Is Bigger Than Hip Hop with Dead Prez, and he did Izzo. And then he did the Guess Who's Back joint with Scarface, Bonnie and Clyde with Jay, Get
Mhm.
By Talib. He did the Trina and Ludacris joint, Be Right Back. And then
He
then
worked
does,
with Mace. He worked with Mace, Harlem
Well,
World.
he was
all of
ghost
those cats.
producing then. He didn't get a lot of credit for them.
He did the
I mean,
stand-up joint with Luda.
So okay, so my thing to that. So you just said Deprez. He was on Deprez prior to signing with The Roc, right? The two other ones, Izzo, that was with The Roc, and what was the other
He did
one?
the joint with Trina and Luda.
Trina and Luda.
He did the joint with
Okay.
Talib.
Okay,
I think you said that right.
Mose.
Yeah,
He worked with Mose.
mm-hmm. But like
I'm looking at the list right here.
That's okay, but like a lot of those tracks, he's not even like rapping.
Because nobody want. I mean, look, man.
Hey,
If we
my point exactly. Nobody was even thinking about him being a rapper.
Maybe
Well,
he was a whack rapper at that point. He was a great producer, but a whack rapper.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying. But people thought he was a whack rapper, so they wasn't even going to give him the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? So we kind of had to kick the door in and kind of be like, yo, let me just produce the beats so then I can get on the mic and start showing people. Because he really didn't get on the mic until Talib Kweli gave him that, you know what I'm saying? It was on the documentary.
Right.
He didn't even give him a chance. He jumped onto the concert joint, and people started rocking, and we started rocking on the live concert. And then that's when people was like, oh, okay, all right, he kind of got some balls. But for the most part,
he still ain't get signed.
If his bars was that tight, he could have did what. Remember before 50 Cent became 50 Cent, and he flooded the game with mixtapes, and then people took notice. Like, how come he just didn't do that? Why was he so pressed to push Jay and Dame and Biggs to try and sign him? Flood the game, and they will come.
That was the way.
That's what 50 did.
I mean, 50's a goddamn genius. Like he's a one-man wrecking ball.
What's the
mixtape?
He had the perfect man. Remember, 50 had the
and 50 had the streets behind him too.
Yeah, like 50 had the
not in the
perfect
beginning.
story.
What?
Huh?
Are you kidding me?
When he did How to Rob the Streets, the streets wasn't checking for 50 back then.
Yes, they were. Power the dollar.
How to make a dollar? Are you kidding me?
Google the song Too Hot. He had a partnership with Nas.
The joint he did with Destiny's Child that they took him off the record for Nas.
Which 50?
Well, that's Nas. I mean,
which 50 was popping in? That one or this one?
That's bloated belt.
Yo. I heard he brought the G-Unit tank tops back out.
He did. He did.
That's kind of genius in a way.
Yeah, of course.
No, but but getting back to Yeezy, it's this whole doc, like you said, it's not even about if you like him or not. Which is, I understand. He's very controversial. I get it. I can see why he rubs people the wrong way. I can see why he rubs people the wrong way. The inspiration, the ability when someone closes the door in your face and you don't stop, the ability that only a couple people believe in you, mainly your mother. That's what this whole thing was about. This thing wasn't about, is he the best rapper or producer? This was an inspirational story that the guy does. And you don't have to like him to understand that part of him. You know?
I agree.
I agree.
He had the ultimate belief in himself.
Yes, and that's rare. That's rare.
It's rare in a situation, especially when, like you said, a couple doors get shut in your face, and everybody wants you for what you would consider half of you, right?
Right.
You want me because of my talent to produce the music, but you don't want me because what I feel like I'm really good at, and that's rapping. And that'll crush the average person. So I will give him that. He stayed forward. He kept pressing. And I think in watching the doc, the first episode, to me, it showed like, he really was before his time in a sense, right? Or before the times, right? And it also, to me, kind of showed, we were watching a new genre of music or rap at the beginning stages, which is, to me, is ill. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
It didn't happen on accident, right? Because this was his plan. He had this plan, and he wanted that. So I get a brother that, right? And I think it was dope to see that for sure.
What do you not give him? I mean, shit, that's pretty impressive. What you?
It's very impressive.
What are you taking away? I mean,
like to think about it, to envision it, and for it to manifest, and to like to keep going, and like, like you said, for doors to be continually slammed in your face, yo, and like like I said, he went back to Chicago to get that, you know, that reassurance and that affirmation. You know what I'm saying? He went back to get recharged. You know what I'm saying? And when you could tell when he was sitting with his mother, it was like he was getting that rejuvenation. It was like he was getting recharged back up to go back out there.
I mean,
and do his thing.
He had just got dissed by his mentor.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Doug Infinite.
And one of the things that crazy. You know his mother said to him that stuck out. You know, she said, when giants look in the mirror, you know, they see nothing. Yes. They don't see anything.
Yes.
And I mean, when you have someone kicking that to you,
you feel untouchable, right? Like
when you got someone supporting you and putting that in still in you, I mean, you know, you feel like you can do anything.
Yes. You nailed it, Quan.
I was surprised to see his mom so
supportive.
Open to not supportive, but so open to having everything filmed. Like she was like they two peas in the pod. They both thrive on that attention, but I felt like the scenes with his mom were probably the most genuine parts of the documentary. Those are the parts I appreciated the most.
You got to see the real him in a sense with his mom, right? And then
we hope we did.
Well, I say that because of this, right? We didn't really notice what people call, you know, the new Kanye or the crazy Kanye until his mom passed, right? And to see how close their relationship was, it kind of makes sense. It kind of goes full circle for me, right? I lost my mom, you know what I mean? I hope I ain't go crazy. I hope y'all would tell me if I did. But you got to see like why it had that effect on him, because they were like, she was his best friend. You know what I mean? That's the relationship I got. She was his hype man. You know what I mean? Like, you're great. She knew his high school bars. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you're right.
Like she knew his whole song, and that, you know, so that to me was a really, really deep relationship. So it just brought it full circle to me. Like, okay, if this is what set him off, I get it. Because
I think he's reasonable.
Is it right to call him crazy though? Because like Chappelle said,
whoa.
That's kind of dismissive, yo. That's kind of dismissive.
This is part 2 and 3 of the doc. Let's table that for 2 and 3, because that's a whole nother 3-hour conversation. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's reasonable that maybe when his mom passed, he might have severely struggled. You lose your mom, that is a huge deal. So I think that he likely has struggled from that. Whether or not he's crazy or not, that's for a therapist or clinician to figure out. But when you lose a parent and you have the resources that he does, you don't go on Twitter and act like an ass. You go get real help. When there are people who are poor that can't get the help that they need, he's got all the resources in the world. So my empathy for him goes, but so far, because I recognize what I know personally was like to lose a mother. But beyond that, like, his antics are his antics. And even when you lose your mom, you can't act the way he does, man. Like at some point you have to be an adult and get the help that you need. Especially when you have children. Can't act like an ass and just keep saying, "Well, my mom died." That's my reason to be a dick.
He's never.
I know he's never said that. I know, but I'm just saying that most people do point to that's the reason. That was the big change in his life, right? I mean, it would be a big change.
You think? Do you think it could be other things as well too? Like
certainly.
So on top of that, having to deal with the grief and everything, the access to resources, the money. You know what I'm saying? Like the places you can go, the particular women that he may have dealt with. You know what I'm saying? The talks he may have been around. You know what I mean? So like,
you know, what his biggest problem is. So when Dave Chappelle talks about, you know, that could be dismissive, calling him crazy. Like, one of the bigger issues I see, I think me and Dawud talked about this a couple weeks ago. Like, I think Kanye has too many yes men around him. And when you're going off your rocker, you're supposed to have at least one good friend that'll call you up and be like, "Hey, this is maybe going too far." And generally it's somebody that, regardless of what you'll say back to them, they don't care. They're not worried about losing your friendship or losing your money or losing the access that you provide. They're willing to just be honest with you because they love you. It appears that there's maybe nobody willing to be that honest with him. because they're afraid to lose the access.
Sure,
that's the way it appears.
And that piggybacking off of that, Alex. You got to also remember. Let's preface this too. Kanye's an only child.
Yes.
And the only children that I know, because I married one, and some of my best friends are. They are extreme. They are. I mean, they are probably the smartest people that I know. The only kids that I know. But to say that there is there's a gap there, because when you have parents and they can just focus on you all day, that shit fucks with you. It messes with you. You know what I'm saying? And him being that's why I think he falls out of friendship so quickly. Like him and Talib don't talk now. Like
him and John Legend don't talk anymore, right?
Yeah, and it's cool.
But that's because they called him on his nonsense.
And maybe so. And it's I'm sure it's a two-way street, but it's like he maybe doesn't have that ability to understand how to govern, even through friendships. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Maybe they'll cover all that in whatever next parts of the doc.
Yes, right. And I think to your point, like him being that only child, right? I think you saw in that how his mom guarded him as well, right?
Totally.
And I think it showed again. And maybe this is me looking too deep, but to me, it showed why he is mentally fragile in those clips with his mom, because when she says something about him being arrogant, right? And she followed that with all compliments, but he stuck on that one part. So, Mom, you think I'm too arrogant? And I think she then realized, like, hold up, I got to cover this in a certain way that it doesn't, and she changed that by saying, yo, I think you're perfect the way you are. You know what I mean? And then she tried to also give him that lesson of the quote that you said, Quan, where giants don't see each other see themselves in the mirror, or don't see anything in the mirror. So I think it showed that as well. So I think that's a good point that you make, and that may be why he falls out of friendship.
Yeah, he falls out of friendship. It's just a fascinating doc of a fascinating human being. And yes, he's not perfect. He's just a fascinating artist. It's such a freedom with him, and there's such a he's just a special to me. And I know this is kind of crazy, but I'm a Kanye stan. I self-proclaimed one. He's like, it's like watching Ali. Like it's you're watching something so special.
You comparing him to some heavy hitters.
You definitely are.
History.
Definitely are.
I think
Mike Jackson, Ali.
Yes, I think he's on that level, and I understand he's now he did all this stuff and all that. He is a one of a kind special artist that we rarely see.
I think he's one of a kind.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. I do. Like I said earlier, I think he was before his time, and I think that makes him. I think that makes him one of a kind. To kind of write he wrote his own story. A lot of these cats fall into their stardom on accident, right? And then it becomes manufactured because that shit worked. Let me stick with that. Now, I mean, like, he knew this is what he wanted to do. You know what I mean? This is what he wanted to do. He wanted to be this rapper. He wanted to be a backpack rapper. He also said, like, he was going to get to a point where the last name was going to be dropped off my name. Like so he said a lot of, he pulled a lot of these things together, man. And I think you gotta get a man credit on that. But I think that the interesting part of it, another thing that stuck out to me anyway was this, like how bad he wanted that chain. I mean, like, he really wanted that chain. Like, when they put it around.
I'm not gonna lie, I wanted a rock chain too.
The Rock was the pinnacle.
I did want a rock chain.
And I mean, like, but when Dame put it around his neck, like he kind of snapped.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, and it goes back to what Dawud was saying when we was talking to his brother. Like, people don't really understand how like significant The Roc was, particularly in the 2000s. Like, I mean, you wasn't going anywhere. Not, you know what I mean? It was The Roc everywhere you went. You know what I mean? So to actually bust into that particular genre of hip hop and to actually get in, and you know, like you said, he wasn't really worried about like being the top. He just wanted to be in The Roc. He just wanted to be in the house. He wanted to be in the building. He wanted to be with the greats. He wanted to be with Jay. You know what I mean? He wanted to have all that stuff. He wanted to be around the artists. And I mean, the Roc-a-fella had heavy hitters back then. You know what I'm saying? Like
Quan, they literally had everything. They had, you wanted to be with the backpack, we got Ye. You want to be fly, we got Dipset. You want to be street, we got State Property. You want to be super great, fly, we got Hove. We had everything, and it all fell apart, man.
It always does.
Insane to have every chamber locked up, and you just
had everything. You had the young gunners. You even got the youngins. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, there's nothing. You know, you got rail on the joint spitting. That was back in the day, but you know. I mean, you The Roc was just amazing.
They ain't have all the chambers. They ain't have the 36th chamber.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
They didn't have 36.
They ain't have nothing like that.
Yeah,
they had. It's just insane.
It's insane. Right.
Yeah. You can't.
They had their own area. They had their own lane. But like, yo, The Roc.
Oh yeah, The Roc. Yeah, The Roc was it was a dynasty.
It was a true dynasty, and it sucks that like.
I know you remember those club nights in Carolina.
Like with like the Wu-Tang series, right? Like, why can't we get a Roc series or a Roc movie? We got
because one person controls the Wu, and that's the RZA. I mean, Ghost and Ray talk about that. How every RZA has to sign off on everything. It comes to the Roc
Divine too. Divine, he got some.
And Divine, it comes to the Roc. I mean, the gap between Jay-Z and everybody else, including Kanye, Jay's not getting in the same on a doc with them. He just not. Him and Dame don't get along no more.
Right.
They actually pieced up.
Huh?
They pieced up.
Well, they're probably cordial now.
Yeah, he's not going to do nothing to help make Dame any money.
Well, I mean, Dame doesn't need like Jigga to make money. I mean, he's okay. He's in his own lane. He doesn't need Jay-Z to make it.
Well, I think there's too much. I think there's too much bad blood for them.
Animosity,
really.
Yeah. And that sucks, though, right? Like that sucks.
Well, it sounds like Jay-Z falling out with just as many people as Kanye did, but it doesn't sound like he gets as much flack for it though.
No, Jay doesn't go on social media. Jay doesn't go on social media and act like a 12-year-old. That matters.
Okay, it does. I think to that point, I think people are they're more upset at Kanye, like his abruptness, like his like the way he just randomly say some shit that'll be like offensive, or they'll take as offensive. And to be honest with you, all the shit that he said, yo, you might not agree with it, but it's not like he said something that didn't have any type of truth to it. You know what I'm saying?
Some of the stuff he said didn't. Some of the stuff he said he didn't have.
I think a lot of it is like misunderstood. So, like for instance, one of the things he was criticized heavily for was when he got up. He had the Hennessy bottle, and he was saying Beyonce had the greatest, video of all time.
Hey, I think you're going ahead. There's two more parts, and we plan.
Yeah. Let's table that for part two.
We plan to discuss those other two parts.
Okay.
Here.
Okay, my bad, Mike. Let's just talk about all the things you want to talk about. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I don't want you to jump the gun. I mean, stick to episode 1. I'm sure that's getting ready to come out in the next. That's going to be in the next 2 episodes.
So we're gonna talk about
when we covered all of that, or is this episode gonna go actually longer than the actual?
Well, so my question is this. My question.
Hold on, we're not gonna talk about him
being the actual episode.
What?
Beefing with Billie Eilish. We're not gonna talk about that.
He just wants to apologize. Okay.
That's the 12-year-old stuff that I'm talking about. Like, come on, what are we doing here?
I'm gonna defend Kanye until I can.
I love
you. Gonna defend him wearing a Trump hat?
I can't defend that shit. I can't defend that shit at all. I don't know what was going on there. That was a temporary moment of insanity.
Hey, that's a good question.
Is The Roc the Buffalo Bills of labels?
Because only holding probably.
Because holding it in public.
The truth is, most labels only have one or two that pop, and that's it. Everybody else is like just dope.
But I thought The Rock had a lot.
Everybody, I don't know. Everybody popped at The Rock though.
Like, yeah, I thought a lot.
No. I'm talking. There's a difference between how Jay-Z and Kanye popped versus everybody else.
Yeah, but those brothers are icons though. Like those are like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like on Aftermath. Like the way M and 50 popped is not the same way that like Obi Trice popped. There's always going to be a gap.
Wait.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. Obi had his run for like a good 4 years or whatever. Everybody, people talking about Obi Trice.
But I will say State Property had a run too.
Yo,
they
all
had
of them.
2 movies out.
The whole
DVD.
The whole Rock.
State Property 1 went to theaters.
Yeah,
on DVD, and then I don't know. The Rock had a lot going for it.
They had. I'm not saying that they didn't. If you can't see that there's a gap between Shaq and Kobe and everybody else,
sure, there's a gap. But I think the Rock's lowest people were higher than a lot of other labels' mid people.
They were just pumped higher. They were marketed.
They
were marketed better. They were marketed better, and that's why nobody was feeling Kanye shit. That shit hadn't been marketed yet. Everybody was on Roc-a-fella street shit. If it didn't follow that wave, we ain't fucking with it.
Who was whack? Who was whack from The Rock?
I won't say. I'm not going to say
nobody.
But
I never bought the Young Gunner CD.
I was just about to say.
That CD wasn't bad. That was
I was just about to say nobody better say the Young Gunners, and y'all motherfuckers said the Young Gunners.
You had a Petey Crack CD?
I had
the Petey was nice.
Petey was
freeway joint.
Okay.
The Rock's death was incredible.
Okay, everybody was nice. Everybody was nice.
The Gunners went platinum too.
They had the freaking Dipset. Like they had his own movement. The Dips were massive.
All right,
the Dips are still doing concerts in 2021.
All right, so question for y'all. That's real. Let's reel this back in. Question for those that watched it, because listen, our plan. Hopefully, this is kind of giving Alex the push to want to watch the doc now.
I'm not watching it.
I'm not watching it. Knowing this brother for 20 years,
he already knows what happened.
I think his mind's made up. He ain't watching it.
I think you might want to. If you probably watch the next two, you'd probably be more interested in seeing that side of the downfall of Kanye, because that's probably
how is that downfall?
PG, table it. We're coming. 2 and 3's coming.
What I'm saying by downfall is where they say he jumped off the deep end. I'm not saying
started making more money.
That doesn't always mean you have a downfall.
Yeah, that don't mean you don't have a downfall.
That don't mean like you can make all the money you want. If mentally your ass is ain't there,
mentally he was.
That's a downfall in a sense, right?
Listen, the minute
sick is a downfall.
I'm saying I'm not saying that. I'm saying in the industry that he's in. Your label, you're letting the media dictate what they think about another man. In the industry that he's in, he went from Kanye, the cool hip guy, to Kanye crazy. That's the downfall I'm talking about.
You know why he's crazy though, Mike? Because remember, Malcolm X, you know what?
Hold on, I know. You're not about to compare the brother Malcolm.
Yeah, that's where we need to cut it off at.
I'm gonna say what Malcolm X said about the media. I'm not comparing him to Kanye.
Yeah, how come nobody talks about?
You gotta leave him on a cliffhanger on that one.
How come nobody talks about the industry that he was in?
That's what I'm saying, Quan. Like the industry is what dubbed him that. That's what I'm talking about.
No, people dubbed him that. People dubbed him that. Media dubbed him that.
Listen,
people that don't fully understand him. And I'm not gonna say that some of this shit didn't come off like, why the hell did he do that? But come on, y'all. All you really have is like shit from like tabloids, rumors, whatever.
Hey,
now,
listen,
but it's not rumors when he's posting the actual stuff on his social media.
We need to confirm.
He's in his thing. Look.
We need to confirm if that was him in the Bush outfit, acting like he was he was in disguise like he was a Bush. If that was really him,
I think he just needs to, harness his emotions a little bit better. But at the same time, I think like what drives him is the same thing that offends people. You know what I'm saying? I will say this. know what I'm saying? The Trump thing, yeah, I don't know what was going. I kind of know what's going on. He's trying unconventional things to become. He wants to become one of a kind. Somebody like him will never ever exist again. He does things his way. He does things an unconventional way. That's kind of like his brand. I think that's what he was doing there. I don't really think he honestly really fucks with Trump. But I would say, yeah, but you know, I don't know. I don't know the brother personally. I just don't. The only thing I would say, like I say he needs to channel his emotions a little bit better, especially like with that shit that came out where, you know, the whole custody thing with his kids and posting videos on that shit. You could tell like he's going through it, but at the same time, like, you know, when he posted that and people are going in on him, you know, I could kind of feel. I felt that you know, that way before. You know what I'm saying? So I can relate that. If you haven't felt that way before, oh, yo, he's just acting crazy.
Yeah, you don't.
But
you don't,
but he is somebody that's used to doing, like you said, he does things his way. He does things when he want to do them, whatever. So to him, that's just not, that's normal. I don't think, I'm just saying, I don't think it's so much. I think it's quick and it's dismissive to just say he's crazy. There's a lot of things that he's done that aren't as rational as everybody else would have gone about it. But I don't know if he's like just like crazy. I
think it's fair to say that he should be seeing a qualified.
What you can say that about
everybody.
Yeah,
that's
about everybody.
That's so broad.
You know what?
I'm criticizing him going through the same
so
shit.
Broad. Everybody that we know should be seeing a therapist.
I'm gonna share. I'm gonna save my opinion for when we stop going. Right.
No, we about 2 and 3.
I can't.
And who would say that he hasn't? So do we know? I mean, does anybody know that if he hasn't went to seek clinical help?
Maybe he has, but it damn sure ain't working.
I hope so.
Y'all said that.
But I mean, that's
listen. Remember,
so was he lying when he said George Bush don't like black people? Was he lying there?
I don't know. George Bush may or may not like.
Y'all think it was crazy then? Because everybody was like, hell yeah, Kanye.
Let me tell you something. When he showed up at that point, when he showed up to that MTV Awards and with that Henny bottle and that black leather button up. Everybody in the world should have known something was gonna go wrong that night.
Y'all love that. And for him to get up there and say, "Yo, Beyonce had the greatest video," was he wrong? Was Beyonce's video not better than that?
What video was she up against? I don't even remember the video they
she was up against Taylor Swift. It was a Taylor Swift joint that she was up against.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, I mean,
here's all that matters, man. I'm gonna save my opinion for the rest. When we because
we're gonna say for 2 and 3 because like Mikey said, 2 and 3.
It's going that way.
It's going to flip a little bit. Yeah,
it's going that direction. So let me ask you guys this: for those of us that watched it,
yes.
What is your thoughts quickly on the first episode, and then anything else that stuck out to you within that episode that we didn't mention tonight that you want to mention now?
First episode was, you know, it was good, decent. Like I said, what we talked about, it showed the vision. It showed, you know, what he set out to do, and it went through behind the scenes of what he was going through. For me, honestly, and that's why I said the industry. Like, no one's talking about the particular industry that he's in and what he's endured, particularly through this industry. And I'm not making it an excuse, you know what I'm saying? Because what the things that he has been going through and what he's been doing is dysfunctional. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not to make that to the record, making no excuse about that. But it also shows that, it's a hard industry. You know what I mean? Like, even when you saw when the guy, I forgot the guy's name, that was from Chicago, that dissed him.
Doug Infinite.
Infinite. Like,
after dapping him up.
That was the same day.
But that goes to show.
I feel like you got a problem with him. Just say something to him when you see him.
Yeah,
my bad. Go ahead, Quan.
But that just goes to show you that that's the industry. People will shake your hand. People will be your friend, befriend you as long as you have something. But they'll take shots and throw shots at you when your back is turned. People will say they're your best friends or all this other stuff.
On the radio too, yo. I didn't fuck with that at all.
I respected Kanye for going at him too. Well, not for approaching him. Yeah,
approaching. You know what I mean?
He was hurt.
But
he was
my point exactly. My point is that he was literally hurt by that.
Yes, he was hurt. It's like one of y'all say something about me. Like it would hurt me. Like it's like
So we say talking about you all the time. Let Quan finish.
And so that was one person. That was one person that said something about him. So think about all the millions of other, you know what I mean, what's going on. And not to make it an excuse. I'm not, what he's going through is dysfunctional, but to just pass him off and be like, yo, he's just a nut, so he's just a lunchbox. Like, I mean, damn. I mean, well, can anything else be said?
It come with the territory, though. If this what you want, if this thing here is what you were striving for, it comes with the territory that people are going to, whether it's somebody like dude was his mentor or somebody random on the street, it come with the territory of what people going to start talking about you. And that beef was stemmed off of they felt he made it and he ain't putting nobody else on, even though he mentioned them cats as
all the time,
the ones that taught him how to make beats. So
no, they just weren't as recognized as he was at that point. He had at that point surpassed them.
And even then, right. And Mike, and so what part of it, what you're saying is right. But even then, I mean, you still don't know what you're getting into until you actually go past that door to figure out what's going on in that particular career. So like,
and that was his moment. That was the moment right there. I think that was the moment where it set into him like, okay, yo, this is what this business is about, because this is somebody who I look up to, and they dissing me. So I think that's the moment where it hit him, and right after that, where he go see his mama. So
ain't nothing like seeing your mama, right?
Nothing like seeing your mama.
Shots, yo.
You know what I'm saying? That's not that. They ain't no. I'm not throwing no shot. I'm saying that, you know, Quan was saying it's not an excuse, but I'm saying and that is, you know, that's what you asking for when you step into that limelight. He wanted this, and this is what comes with it. You know what I'm saying? People turning their back on you and people having shit to say about you. So it is what it is. Ooh,
yeah. Like I said, just an incredible piece of art, an incredible inspiration. Whatever you're in life, whatever you're doing in life, when you know, doors are going to shut on you. You're going to lose people. You know, there's going to be trials and tribulations, but you got to fight through and have your passion and your belief. And that's all Yeezy's saying. He's an artist. He's a sensitive artist, and most artists are sensitive. And maybe he doesn't handle things the correct way. And you can feel his passion, and sometimes it's misguided, like most people's passions are sometimes. But this part one was about the inspiration, the grind, being the underdog and fighting through. Like 50 said, hey, to love it, man. The underdog's on top. It's been 20 years and he's still on top.
Brandon, anything in this doc that we haven't mentioned that you want to point out?
No, I think.
And what did you think about? And what did you think about the doc? Episode 1.
Well, we answered that in the beginning, Mike. No,
okay.
No, I'm fucking with you. Like I said, I liked it. Man. It was insightful. It gave a visual as to, like I said, I mean, it did show us things that we didn't know, but like we kind of knew the Kanye story already. He was trying to be a rapper, whatever. It took him a little while to get on as a rapper. He finally got signed by Roc-a-fella. We saw all this shit already. You know what I'm saying? We didn't see the behind the scenes shit. We didn't see him, you know, the conversation, like I said, the conversations with his mom. That seemed like the most genuine part about the show to me, and that's what I appreciated the most. So, you know, I'm looking forward to part 2. I'm chopping it up with y'all.
Alex, have we convinced you to check it out yet?
Hell, yeah, highly unlikely.
Come hell out the water, I ain't watching.
Right. So a couple of things that I saw that I wanted to point out. Well, no, let me read this. Let me do this real quick. So I thought I wanted to point out this. Ferris, shout out to Ferris. His comment, I agree with you. If he had any real dogs with him, they should have checked him. Just a bunch of yes men. I think one of y'all mentioned that early on.
That's what I said earlier.
Ferris,
he's gonna do what he want to do anyway, though.
Ferris again asking if this is a good doc. This is why I asked you again, Brandon, because we got people in here wanting to know.
I said yes.
It's one episode out right now, Ferris, and
I wouldn't waste your time.
Four of us have watched it. Alex has not, and we're trying to convince him to check out. But I think episode 1 was good. Sean, I shout out to my man Sean Mo. I agree with you. He was sick. Even Scarface said something about this.
Yeah,
like, bro, your retainer don't belong on the damn table.
Yo, Faith looked at it like damn, like
Faith went into grandfather mode real quick there.
Yeah. He's like, yo, what is that?
What is that? That shit don't belong there. But you see, he ain't moving.
He popped them joints right back in his mouth after.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And again, Sean said he loved it, except for putting retainers on everyone's table.
That retainer's going to the Smithsonian, you know.
Ferris, yes, I'm assuming you're talking about when he said when his mentor took a shot at him. You got that vibe that he. The good thing, like I said,
That's
Kanye
exactly what it was.
Kanye pulled up on him, which I have respect for, right? And you know his justification from it was like, yeah, yo, you didn't. I got left out of the credit when Kanye is saying like, yo, the magazine left this out. I said that you are one of the people who taught me how to make beats. Mm-hmm. But all the crazy shit was when he saw Kanye hours before this, and they chopping it up, which was the weird shit about it. So,
but what did Hov always say? The industry shady.
You need to be taken over. I mean, and that's
you know what I mean?
Hov knew that because when you really think about a full circle thing, Mike, before we get out of here, it's funny because people slept on Hov, right? Remember, he didn't get on until he was like 25, 26. And in rap, that's ancient.
Yeah,
so people slept on Hov like they slept on Yeezy. So it's like
he was also busy selling drugs, so he was making a lot of money.
So anyway, the two random things that I saw, we can get out of here. One, the random Nokia sighting, and
where was he?
He was in Roc-a-fella studio. I mean, in their office.
He was in the office.
Yeah, if you go back, he was in the hallway when Ye was walking by. He was like, "Yo,
Mike was watching this shit like he was watching film, like rewind."
Nah, I mean, I didn't rewind it, but I'm like, "Yo, is that Nokia? And why is he at Roc-a-fella offices?" But I thought that was random. Mm-hmm. And then another thing that he admitted to having a certain addiction that I've seen all of you have in our days. He was addicted. He was addicted to Blacktail magazine.
Yo, and I saw that. $10. I ain't paying. All right, let me get it.
So he said, "Yo, you might have to cut the tape." And when I saw this, I'm like, "Yeah, these cats who I'm about to record with had the same addiction." Blacktail magazine.
You ain't about to throw us under the bus like you was the only one. No, guys, you shouldn't be watching that. No, that wasn't Blacktail. You was like, yo,
Blacktail magazine. Blacktail magazine. So listen, man. Hopefully we'll be back to do part 2. Anybody know when it's dropping? Next week?
Thursday, I think, right? I think it's something weekly. Like so
okay.
The 23rd, so yeah.
So let's plan to do the next episode when it drops. Hopefully Alex will watch it. Real quick, tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, I'm online at the Wallace Way on Twitter. If you want to, I got into a beef yesterday talking about people were comparing Q-Tip and Jay Dilla. I love these MCs, I love these producers, but Ye's in another world. He's in another world. His resume is just sick. It's not human. So I got into beef on Twitter, but I love talking about this stuff.
We like talking hip hop.
A lot of cats will come at you for that Dilla comment.
Oh, they will, and I'm ready to swing on them. I'm in good shape. You know what I mean? I did 8 miles on the Peloton today. We like to talk hip hop. If you add up all the whole week, it was 8.
We like to talk hip hop, so maybe we can talk about that one point in time. B, what you got in closing, man?
Nah, man. We'll check y'all out on the next time. Thanks for tuning in, y'all.
Quan, what you got in closing, B?
Hey, appreciate y'all, fellas. Thanks for everybody tuning in, and we'll come back at y'all with the next episode.
For sure. Alex, what do you got in closing?
Nothing, man. Let's just close it on out.
Somebody said
B.
Somebody said when we couldn't find you last week, you was eating brownies. I ain't gonna say what brownie. I ain't gonna say what brownie they said. But they said you was eating brownies. Yo, that's off the record. Yo, we out. We'll holler at y'all. Peace.